What's up, everybody? Silver here with another Halo Spartan Strike achievement guide. This time we're doing part 4 of Battle Hardened, which is complete all of operations A through E while earning gold stars in each mission. So this is part 4, so that brings us to Operation D. Start up level D1, and you'll get in this nifty tank right in the beginning, and you just want to plow through everybody, and you want to make sure you keep pushing forward so you could get as many enemies as possible. You can see I'm racking up a ton of Killionaires right now, which really gets your score up very quickly. And the gold score for this level is 210,000, so you really want to get a good chunk of this out of the way right in the beginning of the level. You can see I'm not getting any more. Well, I am getting Killionaires actually, probably. But after I'm done killing a bunch of people, I'll still get a ton of medals in the bottom. They'll keep popping up because we got so many so quickly that it can't even handle it. It can't even. The game cannot. So it's going to keep popping up. You can see now it seems to have caught up. Yeah, there we go. Killtrocity. That seems about right for what we just did. So we got 180,000 there, and you want to have a really good push right there, right in the beginning. If you don't have that many points to start, you could always just start over. It's very quick, that first part. Just plowing through with that tank. Or tanking through, I guess. It's not a plow. It's definitely a tank, though. But just do that. And you can see we only need to get 20,000 more points right here. So just go through as fast as you can. The things that will help you get your score up are multi-kills and sprees. So that's why I was pushing for all those multi-kills, those Killionaires right in the beginning. Multi-kills are double kill, triple kill, overkill, etc. all the way up to Killionaire. And sprees are, obviously, how many kills you can get in a row without getting shot. In normal Halo games, it's how many kills in a row can you get without getting killed, but if you die in this game, obviously, you're done, and you have to go back to the beginning of the level, so no respawning here. So this level, obviously just string together as many kills as you can at the end here. It's nothing too fancy here at the end. Obviously, we got most of the points right in the beginning. You can see there that I killed that shade turret. I probably should, if I was going to go for more points, I could kill the turret or damage the turret to a point where the grunt gets out, just like I did here. And the grunt actually gets out, and you could kill the grunt and the turret individually, so you'll get 2 kills for that instead of 1. If you just kill the turret while the enemy's still inside, it only counts as 1 kill, so that's a little tip for you. And that also is the same case as if there's an enemy in a vehicle, so that could be a ghost or a wraith. You could always just shoot it until it's about to explode. The enemy will get out, and then you could kill the enemy and the vehicle individually, and that will give you 2 kills instead of the 1. So we're at the end of the level here. 232,000. Pretty nifty. Nice job. Gold star. And we're on to the next level. So this next level, you need 160,000. This level could be a little bit annoying. Just because you have to keep these scientist people alive, and also the door. Once they're through, you gotta defend the door so they don't. The Covenant and the Prometheans don't break down the door. So just make your way. I switched out for the battle rifle and the SMGs, and that is going to come into play in a little bit. The SMGs, at least. So for the first part, just kill as many crawlers as you can, as quickly as you can. Obviously, to get the sprees and the multi kills, especially. And just use the battle rifle. It's 1-shot kill for all these crawlers. And once your battle rifle runs out, which is fairly soon, you want to switch out your empty battle rifle for a suppressor, because, again, like I've said in previous guides, the suppressor is great at taking out Prometheans, and also it's very well fed, I guess, as you could say, because there's obviously a ton of crawlers. And even Promethean Knights carry suppressors a lot of the time, so you could find ammo lying around anywhere, pretty much, because there's so many dead enemies that you've killed that drop their suppressors, and just run over the corpses to refresh your own suppressor. You don't want to shoot at grunts, though, which grunts are going to come into play in a second, especially suicide grunts, because we got to defend the door now. Even though the scientists went through, we got to defend the door itself, so there's going to be some suicide grunts that come into play, and also some turrets. You just throw nades at the turrets. But the suicide grunts, whenever you see them, you want to switch to your SMGs, which you can see I do here. And the SMGs take out the suicide grunts very quickly. and then you want to switch back to your suppressor whenever you're shooting at crawlers. So you're just playing a game of juggling, basically. You want to juggle between your suppressors and SMGs. And there's also more SMG ammo in this area next to the crates to my left right now. So you could always refill there when you need to. And also the suppressor works well against the watchers here that have come into play too. So use the suppressor against those guys. For the turrets here, you can see they've started coming into play. You could use bombs, or not bombs, but grenades. You can see I have a firebomb on that one. And you could also, if you want to, you could go up to that door and use your bubble shield to block a lot of the incoming fire. But you can see we didn't have to do that. And we're almost at the 160 required. You could really string together a ton of enemies for multi-kills with those all those crawlers and the grunts coming at you, so that's good. And you can see here, now there's just normal grunts coming at you, and there's also some knights. So you want to use the suppressor for the knights and the SMGs for the grunts. And we're just going to switch back and forth through that whole thing. And we're on our way to 160, and there we go. We got it, but we're almost dead here, actually. So you want to be careful at this point. You could just retreat back to where you started the level, and that will help funnel the enemies into the hot gates, if you will, and you could be one of the 300 original Spartans, which you can see I'm going to do in a second because things are getting kind of hectic up here, and my bubble shield has not respawned yet, or recharged, rather, and I'm almost out of shield again. Well, there we go. It's recharged now, but still, things are going to get crazy. You can see I'm just in need of survival at this point. We don't need to protect anything else, and we don't need to get any more points. So once you're at this point, you can actually just run over here, and it's much easier to defend yourself when you're on this side of the bridge. You could even go back even further, and the enemies will bother you even less. But I'm still killing people and racking up some kills here. At this point, I run in fear, and I switch out for a battle rifle again. You don't have to, but it's easy to take out enemies. Once the timer runs out and you're done surviving, you do need to take out all the enemies in the area before the level ends, so you do need to end up killing everybody. So it would be good to switch to the battle rifle for that, because the battle rifle is good at killing everybody, pretty much. Just a couple shots to the face for Promethean Knights, possibly 3 if they're the shotgun wheel or the scatter shot wielding ones, and then everything else is pretty much one shot. So this level is 315,000 to get the gold star, and basically you just want to get an Kestrel for the entire level, and you want to pretty much string together all the multi-kills, obviously, as you can, and we're going to do a little exploit in a second. I'll show you that once we get there. But again, you want to kill as many people as quickly as possible just to get your multi-kills and sprees up, and also actually talk about the skulls. You could put skulls on. You probably know about skulls. It makes the level harder. Black Eye, for instance, is one of the skulls you can put on, and it makes you have the disability, not ability, of your shield does not recharge until you melee somebody. So that's a disadvantage, obviously. So it's just modifiers to make the game harder. But it also increases the multiplier on your points, so you'll get more points for every kill. So that's something to consider if you're having trouble getting to the threshold for the gold star. It's definitely tougher. It obviously makes the game harder, and that's why you get more points, but you do get more points, so it's an option for you if you are in need of it. Also, there's boosters, which you have no booster on by default, but before you start a level up, except for A1, you have the ability to put on a booster, and you could put on a shield booster, a damage booster, or a score booster. So a score booster would definitely help out. It increases your score by 25%. So that's an option as well if you're having trouble getting to the gold star threshold. And also the damage booster helps as well because it just increases your chances of multi-kills and sprees since you're able to kill people more quickly. But you can see I busted through that second gate, and then I just went back here, and now I'm just kind of taking my time, and 2 Promethean Knights keep spawning here, and you could really rack up like 50,000, 60,000 points right here just from allowing them to spawn under you. I skipped ahead. You can see I'm up to 126 now. That's from all those, just those 2 Prometheans basically, just spawning there repeatedly. And you want to move into them whenever they spawn before they're ready to fight you. So that way you get a ton of sprees, and you get your sprees up very high for doing that. So then just move forward once they stop respawning. Eventually they will stop respawning, unfortunately. You can't just sit there to get all of your score and all the points you need. But just move up. You could probably get about 50 or 60,000 points just from those 2 Prometheans, which is awesome. So we're just moving up and doing the same thing we've been doing. Get as many multi-kills and sprees as possible. Move through that door, and unfortunately there's no Prometheans that spawn for a good 5 or 6 minutes here, like there was in the previous section. But just move through. Ignore that elite. He always bubble shields, and you can never really kill him. It's very annoying. Whenever you're close to killing him, he just deploys his bubble shield, so you can't really kill him with a Kestrel very easily at all. But you just want to stand right here, or hover right here, since the Kestrel is a hovercraft, and just watch your radar and see where the enemies are coming at you from. You can see I'm getting a ton of multi-kills right now, and there's not even any enemies on my screen. But I could see where the enemies are spawning and coming from the contacts on my radar, so I'm just shooting in that direction, and I'm getting a bunch of kills. And this is really where you want to sit for the most part, because they come at you from all directions, so you could just turn and rotate. It's basically like you're on a turret, but you can move around if you have to, but you shouldn't really move around too much. Just stand here and rotate as you need to kill everybody in the area. It's much easier doing it this way than actually moving around the whole area and killing people, because what will happen is you'll just kill everyone on one end, and then you'll have to go all the way back to the other end to kill the other people, and that will minimize the amount of multi-kills you're getting, because you'd be wasting time moving around the map rather than just turning and being able to kill more people to keep your multiplier, or your multi-kill going rather, and your sprees going. So that is an easy way to get the threshold of 315,000. You can see we've gone over it at this point, and if the enemies do come close to you, you could move around, just like slide into them a little bit, but don't go too far out of position, because then you'll be stuck with an empty section with no enemies to keep your multiplier going. So we're at the end here. We got enough, so I'm just moving around, killing people. And you will have to get out eventually. Enemies do stop spawning, unfortunately, at some point. But we got the points required, so we're on to the next section, which is actually the same level, but we're kind of going in a different direction. We pretty much started off where we left off. So just go here. You want to pistol all the grunts, and you want to binary rifle all the binary rifle wielding crawlers. It'll take 2 shots with a pistol to kill the crawlers that wield binary rifles, so you could do that if you want, but it's obviously quicker to just binary rifle them in the face, give them a little taste of their own medicine. And you can see we're pretty much going in a horseshoe fashion, and then we moved up here after doing the horseshoe to start the level, and just keep binary rifling all the crawlers as you see them. Nade that turret guy, and watch out for this wraith, obviously, because he could shoot some mortars at you. It's nice that you have that kind of warning radius that pops up on the screen. Kill that guy, and then we're on our way. I like to switch out the battle rifle, or the pistol for the battle rifle. Then you kind of want to do some bullfighting with this wraith, get him to charge you, and then sidestep him and board him. Get that elite out of there, and now you have this wraith to play with. And you want to avoid damaging the wraith behind me, which is empty currently. That way, if this wraith does get blown up, which I believe I get it blown up in this walkthrough because I'm an idiot, you could have an option. You have a spare in case it gets blown up. So you can see I just kind of charged in here. I got like hammered and stuck with a grenade and bombarded by that plasma turret all at the same time, and I just totally sloppily ran in there, and you should really just take a little bit more time when you're doing that. Obviously, you're trying to get as many multi-kills as possible, so you're kind of trying to speed through this, but there's plenty of enemies to kill, and they're easy to kill, obviously, with the Wraith, so you don't have to just, dive right in there and lose all your health right away. So, at this point, I like to position my Wraith pointing out, because we're going to go out there eventually. That proximity mine decided to, make itself known. But once you activate that, whatever you're doing in there in Security 3, just get back in your Wraith, and you could start off by splattering the people in the area and just, keep the Wraith turret going as much as possible. You want to minimize the Wraith Mortar, the primary weapon, because obviously you could run into that. So it's kind of a detriment if you overuse it. You could easily just keep Wraith bombing yourself and losing health. But this is a really good section because there's a ton of enemies that just warp to your position. So you could really rack up a bunch of points here too. So you can see I got a decent score going now. I don't know if I said it already, but it's 165,000 for this level. And we're sitting at 148, so not too bad. So go in there, activate the whatever you're doing in there again, and move out here, and there's going to be more enemies, obviously. Of course, there's always more enemies. And they're going to come through the portals as well. So you can see right now I'm kind of ping-ponging back and forth between the portals, and I should really just be sitting still. Now I'm sitting still. And this is a better way to do it, kind of like we did at the end of last level, where you just kind of let them come to you, and you just sit in one spot, and it makes it way easier to kill people consistently and get the multi-kills up. So just park right here. Go into this final third security room, even though they're kind of out of order. 312 is the order activated them in, but whatever. And then just move forward, and we already got the whatever it's called, the threshold, the gold star. We already got it. We're about 20,000 over that. So I'm just showing you where more points potentially lie if you're not at that threshold at this point. So when you're at this point, you can't take the Wraith any further, so you should kill it. You can see I got a bunch of points for destroying that Wraith, even though it's unoccupied. Killing vehicles and turrets that are unoccupied still give you a good amount of points. So that is always an option, especially when you're done with that said vehicle. You could easily get some points just by blowing it up when you're done with it. So at this point, it's kind of hectic. I'm pushing myself a little too much here. You should probably be a little more cautious at this point, obviously, because I'm taking a lot of damage. But at this point, I'm like, hey, I have enough points. I'm going to make a run for it. I don't advise doing this because I almost die. But obviously, you could get more points if you play it safe and hang back and just pick all these people off. But I made a run for it, and it worked out. So on to the next level. This is B5. We need 100,000 points for this one. So not too many points, but that's also due to the fact that there's not the potential for as many points. So, whatever. Kill that Watcher, obviously. Kill these turrets. There's an achievement in this level to not get hit by any turrets at any point in this level. Obviously, I'm totally not going for that right now because I've already gotten hit by one. And, just take out the enemies as you can. This part is kind of tough because it's hard to string together a bunch of kills really quickly, especially with these turrets coming at you. Taking your time to kill all the turrets. Maybe you could just ignore the turrets and just blow through this and kill everybody as you go, other than the turrets, and that would work better. But you can see I'm just working my way through and killing everything as I go. You do have to kill all the Watchers because it's a requirement to progress through the rest of the level. So there's that, but that crawler just shot his own turret guy. And then I was able to finish him off with only one grenade. Normally it takes 2 grenades. Thanks, crawler guy. We can see we're moving through. Kind of not a very exciting level in regards to racking up points quickly, but you can see I let that Watcher spawn the crawler. Obviously, that's an opportunity to get more points, is allowing the Watchers to sit there for a little bit and hover, and they do spawn more crawlers if you allow them to. But if you kill them right away, obviously they won't be able to spawn crawlers. So that's a way to get more points. You'll see me throughout this level disallow them from spawning crawlers, but obviously you could allow them, because right here, look at this right here. He's spawning crawlers. I'm just going to stand behind him. All right. Crawler spawned, smack the Watcher, kill the crawler. We'll do it again. Oh, nope, no we won't. I thought the crawler would have spawned by the time I smacked him, but no dice there. I was over-eager. So we're in this section, and we don't even have half the points we need at this point, so kind of not looking great, but this might be a level where you would want to put on the score multiplier. I'm not sure, but I might No, I think I get a good amount of points here, actually. But obviously, score multipliers help anyway. But just move on through, and there's going to be a ton of reinforcements here coming through portals. And there's also going to be a bunch of turrets that spawn as well. So you can see, I think there's like possibly 8 turrets that spawn in this section, just in like a box formation or a square formation. A 3x3 square, if you will. So just take out all these enemies. You can see a bunch of them are spawning. And I have a battle rifle at this point, and there's more battle rifle ammo up here. So I'm going to keep going back to that point to get more ammo. These turrets, obviously, you could take them out with 2 grenades. So I'm kind of just running around the perimeter and taking them out as I can. The other enemies are just crawlers and Promethean knights. So you could easily kill them with some battle rifle. Depending on what kind of knight it is, it may take 2 or 3 hits. The ones with scatter shots take 3 shots, and the ones with only suppressors take 2 shots. So these airstrikes are kind of annoying. They're kind of there to help you out by design, but they also take points away because obviously those are enemies you could be killing, but you're not because whoever is flying above you, helping you out, is taking your kills. Just like in Rumble Pit. Jesus. Play campaign so my kills aren't stolen, and then this guy's stealing my kills. Thanks, buddy. Thanks a lot. So you can see we're getting close to 100,000. And this section is not the last section. We do have to walk to the end for a little bit, and there are some dropships that drop off some more enemies. Not too many, so you do want to be near 100,000 at least. You can see I almost died there. And you have teleportation by default when you start this level. So I decided to go into teleport mode, use the armor ability in a defensive tactic. Because obviously if I'm teleporting, they cannot shoot me. So I went into that because I had no shield, and I was surrounded by 2 binary rifle wielding crawlers that were about to shoot me. So I just teleported away. And the teleporter actually lasts a while, so you will have a full shield by the time you come out of teleportation, which is pretty sweet. So that's always something to be aware of. So move up here. You can see I got over the 100,000 hump, but still not terribly great in regards to leaderboards and destroying the gold star requirement. And I almost died again, surrounded by those 2 dudes. So I'm just going to go in a little circle with my teleportation. You do want to be aware of the fact that you don't always have teleportation available. You can't use it back-to-back very quickly because obviously the teleportation does have to recharge, so you can't just rely on that. But fortunately, enough time had passed where I could use it again. So that is that, 117. And again, use the score modifier or the score booster if you need to. And we're on to the last level in Operation D. This one is actually pretty easy. It seems hard at first, but then you come across the infinite battle rifle ammo in the top right. And it makes it way easier because you can just one-shot everybody pretty much. Except for, again, obviously Promethean knights and like brute chieftains that come by occasionally and elites, but you could still just shoot them 2 to 3 times easily from across the map with the battle rifle and just pick them off. And there's a bunch of reinforcements that come through these portals, so you're always you always have the ability to get a bunch of multi-kills, so that is something to be aware of. So again, just you'll be directed to go to these scientists every so often. You got to go to each 3 times as you're directed. So you can see I'm going to shoot. Well, once I'm done with one scientist, I always go back to this section, no matter where I have to go next, just to recharge my battle rifle ammo, just to fill it back up. And you can see I've filled it back up, and now I'm just doing a little dance, shooting the enemies as they come at me. I apologize for that jingling sound you may have heard just now. I was recording, and my dog walked in the room, and he's like, "Yo, human, give me some food or something." And I'm like, "I'm recording, dog. Jeez, calm down. Quit that jingling." So, but anyway, you can see it's pretty much the same thing here. that we've been doing is you just want to move from scientist to scientist as they whine for your help, and they're like, oh, come help me activate this thing. And obviously portals will continuously open, allowing you to shoot them, all of the enemies that come through. And you can see that elite easily took him out. The jackal easily took him out. Another jackal easily took him out. And we're going back to this battle rifle station to recharge or fill up our ammo. You don't recharge a gun unless it's battery powered, like a Covenant weapon. But you can see, pretty straightforward. And you just want to do this for the entire level pretty much. And I'm going to skip ahead to the end here because it's pretty much the same thing. Just, go to a scientist, shoot, then go back to this battle rifle ammo, go to the other scientist that needs help, shoot, go recharge your battle rifle ammo, rinse, repeat, and then we're at the end of the level. And you can see we skipped ahead here. We are over the, or not, yep, there we go. Now we're over the threshold for 145,000. So this is basically, at this point, you got to activate these 3 points yourself, now that the scientists are done with their work. And activate the second one there, and here's the third one up here. Obviously, if you have more points that you need, you could just not activate those things and keep shooting all these reinforcements until you have enough points. So just do that if you need to, but I'm at the point where I am done here. I have enough points, so I'm going to waste all the BR ammo that I have remaining. Not because I need to, but just because I feel like it. 2 more shots. Now no more shots. Now I'll end the level because I feel like it, and I am over the limit. 168,000. All we needed was 145, and that's it, guys. That's it for Operation D. Thanks for watching. Click like and subscribe. Leave a comment, and I'll see you for the last one, Operation E.